Hi guys, I am Preeti and you're watching this video on what is a true guru like, because I have made a couple of videos on third eye and kundalini and chakras and related to all of that, which makes a lot of people ask me comments about guru. So we are going to talk about a true guru. What are the characteristics, what are the different personality traits of a true guru? So that we are going to see in this video, so make sure that you watch this entire video, and yeah, so stay tuned. So I have come across a lot of comments and people keep asking me where to find a guru, etc. So the qualities that I am going to tell you, from these qualities it will make you clear what are the qualities you need to look in your guru, okay? And these qualities is also going to bust many myths, because people feel that a true guru should have a lot of good qualities. They should answer questions, whatever questions you have, they should have answers to all those questions, and people have a lot of different notions which don't exactly match with the guru that is like your true guru. Okay, so this is where we are going to see this video. I have found this, that anybody who has a true guru, especially if you want to progress with the path of kundalini and your chakras, in that case your guru is going to be somebody who is going to help you on your path. A lot of people feel that if a guru is really good, that guru can actually open all the chakras in a snap. Okay, not necessarily, okay, because for some people an entire kundalini awakening, the full awakening and opening of all the chakras in just a few hours, it's actually possible. But for most of the people that is not possible, and a true guru is going to help you to be a guide on the path. Okay, usually people feel that a guru is somebody who is very powerful and guru is going to display some sort of magic tricks. So just know this, you don't have to expect seeing some magic tricks from a guru and only then you can trust on him. Not that way. Okay, I do have certain things that I have listed here. The first of all, the true guru. If you find your true guru, it is going to be important that you follow the very, very strict discipline your guru has given. Let me give you an example of some strict discipline. Okay, dating back to the time of Mahabharata, dating back to the time of Dwapar Yuga, there was this guru Dronacharya, and there was a boy. His name was Eklavya, and he was not from a royal family. Dronacharya was supposed to train, he was supposed to give his knowledge to the children of the royal family, and Eklavya, he wanted to learn from Dronacharya, but Dronacharya did not want to teach him, because he did not want that in future Eklavya would oppose his students and become more powerful with a lot of other good knowledge that he may have. So he was not allowed to be in his class. So Eklavya did was he used to stealthily look at all the different classes, the different techniques that Dronacharya used to teach to his students. Yeah, he used to stealthily watch it, and then he used to practice it. What he did, he made a idol of Dronacharya, and he considered that idol as his guru. And after like a few years, after some time, when he kept on practicing that way, he was par excellence. His knowledge was par excellence, his archery skills were par excellence. And that is where one day he came into notice of Dronacharya, and Dronacharya saw that he was actually better than his students also. And I know a lot of people who are watching this video may not like it, but Dronacharya actually asked him as a part of Guru Dakshina that he should cut off his thumb and give it to him as a Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina is something in exchange of the knowledge and the stuff that you are getting from the Guru. Okay, so this is how strict a real Guru is. One more example I would like to say about Ramakrishna Paramhans. Ramakrishna Paramhans was Swami Vivekananda's Guru, and he actually asked Swami Vivekananda to cut off from some of the family member. Okay, so I don't know what exactly was that, but yes, I'm not aware much about the story, but yes, if a true Guru if you have a really powerful Guru, he may ask you to do some very impossible things. And yeah, so one of it was that. And one very big myth about gurus is that, about a true Guru, about a very powerful Guru, is people feel that they should have answers to all the questions that the students have. They should have solutions, like, in just a snap they should be able to take away all the pain. See, gurus do have that much capability, they do have all the knowledge, but they are not there so that they can just keep doing that for everybody. Okay, you see across the history, especially in ancient India, the stories, various stories of different saints and rishis that we have not come across a lot of stories where the Guru, where literally the powerful Guru is just snapping his finger and all the pain is going away or all the suffering is going away. So don't be under this myth that if you meet your true Guru, he will just snap his fingers and take away all your problems. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, it may happen to a few, but not necessarily that it can happen to everyone. First of all, answering questions. He may not answer all your questions. At times he may choose to answer questions, at times he may not choose to answer your questions, and it's just totally up to him what he feels is necessary to be given to you, what knowledge is necessary to be given. He will be giving. What knowledge he doesn't feel that it's necessary for you at that moment, he won't be sharing. And not exactly moment, he may not share certain knowledge for a prolonged period of time. And at times it's important to know this, that in spirituality, Guru is not there so that he can give answers to all your questions. Guru is there so that he can help you become so capable that you find your own answers, that you don't have to depend like incessantly upon your Guru. There is going to be certain guidance that will be specific to you. For example, there is one person, and for that person, they don't have to drink water from a particular well. So that can be a guidance for that person. For somebody else, there can be a different kind of diksha they are giving. Okay, for some people they might give some other kind of diksha. For some people there might be some other kind of diksha, depending on the person's personality. What kind of diksha that person needs, that will be given to that person. Usually what I have seen this, because I have been to a couple of spiritual programs, usually when people feel that there is going to be a specific mantra, and if you say that, yeah, you will be like something extraordinary. Not exactly that way. For some people it's going to be like really good. For some people they will have some other mode for the Shakti path, and your Guru will be able to give you the best path for your life's progress. And it's not like, see, I also do tarot readings, I also do angel card readings, and I do get a lot of people come to me for guidance. Okay, so that guidance is where people pay me money and they get some guidance in return. So that kind of guidance is not that's going to come from your guru. Okay, your guru may actually not give you any guidance at all until he feels that you are capable of receiving guidance. I know, people have this nowadays. I see this in people that they first try to test whether their guru is worthy or not. First of all, if it's a true guru, if you try to test a true guru, that true guru will actually make you pay for it, okay, and you won't even know when you are going to pay for it. And the instructions that your guru tells, it might be very difficult and totally impossible to follow, but yes, if you are following that, you will actually get the fruit of it. And suppose if they have given you certain guidance and you are not comfortable accepting that guidance, you are not going to be the one who chooses whether you should follow that guidance or not. Once you have a guru, then it's like full and final. They are going to decide what kind of guidance you follow. So be very careful. This is the reason why I always tell people that find a guru only when you are totally ready, 100% ready to follow their guidance. Because nowadays I know that people don't follow their own self. People, they don't even follow their own heart. Then how is it that they are going to follow somebody else's instructions? And even somebody, somebody who is spiritual, some spiritual teachers, even if they are really really good, I find that maximum people, they don't have this patience, they don't have the perseverance to follow that guidance. Okay, and out of, I think, just 0.01% people will actually be able to follow the guidance of a real guru. Otherwise, all the other people, they will try to do it and they will just find it too much impossible, or when they find it impossible, they will find errors in the guru and they will think that some problem is with the guru. They are totally fine. Guru, something is not right with them, they need some mending, they don't have it in them. Okay, a lot of times this happens. And yeah, so only very few people who find their true guru, they will actually be able to follow the guidance and the discipline that is assigned to them by their true guru. And your guru will ask you to follow a path where you have the least amount of suffering. I have seen these comments that people say, oh no, once you have the real guru, that real guru will remove all the sufferings and all the pain in your life. The real guru will not do that. Okay, see, there are several different paths by which you can awaken your kundalini and you can open your chakras. But when you do something may be good for you, something may not be good for you energetically, according to your karmas, according to your past life patterns and behavior patterns, etc. According to that, there might be certain paths that might totally be a no path for you. So your guru will be knowing which path you have to follow and which you have to avoid. Okay, so don't be under this impression that if you have a really good guru, he will never let you go through any sort of suffering. See, the clearing of blockages in anybody's energy system is going to feel like a ride of a roller coaster while you are on your kundalini awakening journey. But with the help of the guru, the roller coaster that is this way is much more tolerable than the one that is this way. Okay, so that is all I had to say. And yeah, so let me know in the comments how did you like this video. And okay, one more thing I would like to say, from all the videos that I share about kundalini and chakras, a lot of people usually ask me, okay Preeti, what is it that, how much have you progressed, who is your guru, etc. So in this video I would like to say, I usually suggest everyone that try to keep all your practices, all your spiritual progress, try to keep everything about your spirituality a secret, because nobody in this world actually cares about what is your spiritual progress and how much have you progressed. Yes, people might actually enjoy if you try to show some extraordinary powers, they might actually like to watch it, like some tricks that are done by a magician. But it's not going to be like useful to people in the long run. So ultimately, it's not necessary that you share your spiritual progress, you share about your spiritual practices with others. The same thing even I apply for myself. I usually don't share anything about my guru or my spiritual practices and my spiritual progress. Okay, that might disappoint you. Usually I know people feel that if somebody has progressed, if somebody has a good amount of progress or somebody has some extraordinary powers, only then you can actually believe that yeah, what they are teaching is worth. So for me, I just leave it to you. If you can trust me, then go ahead and like this video and leave a comment if you like. Yeah, if you don't, then it's fine, nothing personal about it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Keep following the path of your soul's purpose, because you are born for a reason. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon. When you click on the bell icon, select all notifications so that you get notified about all the videos that I upload.
And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.